Hello there everyone and welcome to a new review on the channel. Today we're looking at something interesting, something we haven't done before because this is not a physical product that I can show you and it's not a download that I can explain to you. This is a magic subscription service. It's called Magic Monthly. It's by Christian Grace and this is a very interesting service that has a lot to offer and a lot of good things to offer that I think need to be put out there for more people to know. So I'm gonna keep it at that. You're going to learn more about it right after the intro. I hope you stick around because this is really good and this is going to be a fun talk. So stick around and see you in a few. So you've stuck around, which means you want to learn more about Magic Monthly. Now, what is Magic Monthly? In simple terms, it's essentially a subscription service that nets you 2 tricks or more per month. So for £10, so that's around, I think, 15 US dollars and around 18 Canadian dollars per month, you get 2 fully fledged magic tricks with full explanation and performances. That is essentially the crux of it in simple terms. We're going to dive a lot deeper into it, but that's essentially in simple terms what Magic Monthly is. Now, essentially, to explain it in a bit more detail, you pay £10, you get your 2 effects per month and access to all the backlog. Because as other subscription services, when you subscribe, you get access to everything that was put there before. And I'm going to touch upon all of that in a moment. I have my notes, I have things that I want to show you. We're going to talk about all of that in a moment. But I also want to mention that if you're interested in Magic Monthly, if you've heard about it, or you're interested and this is going to pique your interest, I'm going to put this at the start since I know some people don't go all the way through. But essentially, I'm putting this video up because there was an announcement that after February, the Magic Monthly will increase to around £13. So it's going to increase to £12 to £13. And that is going to remain after February. So if you're interested in joining now, anyone that joins before February will keep paying the same amount even after. So your price will not increase. You will keep the same price. So if you're interested, every month you won't have to pay more if you sign up this month. So I do want to mention that. Now, let's get into how it works. So how does it work? How does subscribing to all of this work? Because I know some people don't like subscribing to monthly affairs because they don't want to deal with, customer service to get out of the program, it being a hassle, scams and all that. So I want to make sure that you guys know how this works. So you're essentially going to make an account. You're going to sign up, put your email, everything, your password, your credit card, your PayPal, everything you need. You're going to set up your account. Then you're going to pay for the subscription, and then you get immediate access to a library where you're going to have every single effect dated by when it was uploaded. You're going to have it fully well explained, which is the performance, which is the explanation, what is the performance, what's an added bonus, because you do get added bonuses. You're going to get all access to that fully fledged library, super clean, super easy to maneuver. And then also, let's say you want to unsubscribe. What happens then? Super easy. You just go to your account, you click cancel membership, and you're done. What if you have questions? Who do you contact? You contact Christian Grace directly. He's a great guy. He's going to answer your questions. You can ask him about the effects. You can ask him about anything about the site. He's going to answer you. Great customer service. So don't worry about anything. Everything is self-working, not in magic terms, pun intended, but the site itself is self-working. Everything there is super easy to maneuver. You won't get lost. You won't get lost in, in small informations, the fine print. You won't get lost in the fine print and then have to, pay for 6 months before you're able to cancel. None of that. Everything is really well explained, well done, so don't worry. Now that everything kind of theoretical, if we may say, is out of the way, let's get into the effects. What do you get when you purchase? So you get card effects. That's essentially the main thing you get. It's card effects. So you won't get much billet work, you won't get stage work, you won't get, coins, you won't get stuff with cigarettes or stuff with, forks or pens, nothing like that. You get full card material. So you're not going to get a full Magic library of everything that exists in Magic. This is a card focused monthly membership. So this is really focused on cards. And you're not gonna learn just simple tricks. So this is not a membership where Christian is just gonna throw at you a week on the double lift, right? He's not gonna throw at you a week on the double lift and be like, see, that's my effect for one of the weeks. That's what you get. Thank you. No, you're getting fully fledged, fully routine, fully coherent tricks that have a start, a hook, a middle, an end, a climax. Everything's there. So these are fully fledged routines. The best example that I can give you is imagine Pluck that he put out with Vanishing Ink. If you bought Pluck and you're familiar with Pluck, it's the same concept here. You're gonna get essentially a performance, a real life performance, which is usually 2 to 3 minutes long. And then you're gonna get a 20 to 25 minute tutorial. Around that, a 20 to 25 minute tutorial that explains to you the effect. So together, per video, it's essentially 25 to 30 minutes as a package. And you get 2 of those per month. So you're essentially getting an hour of tuition per month with this. So again, card material. And that's how it's focused. So performance, tutorial. Everything is well shot, well mic'd. You understand everything. There's spectators. Even in the tutorials where you need a spectator, Christian has a spectator. Most of the time, I think there's just 1 or 2 videos where maybe because of COVID restrictions, he couldn't get someone to be with him. But apart from those, every single video is with spectators, with people interacting. It's great. You also get Ollie Mealing in certain videos. You get some of it. You get his sister. You get some of his friends. It's really, really good. So essentially, the videos that you get are quality. The tricks themselves that you get are also quality. As I mentioned, these are not just throwaway tricks. These are fully routine tricks that Christian could easily sell to you for $15 on Vanishing Ink, similar to how he did to Pluck. Most of these he could sell it to you just like that. And that's exactly what you're gonna get. So you're essentially paying for 1 trick, but you get 1 extra free per month, essentially. If you were to sell every trick individually, it would be around $15. That's what you pay per month. So essentially you're paying for a trick and you get a free one every single month, plus access to everything before. A great deal. Now, let me mention some of the effects you get, because I did mention, you're getting card effects, but what card effects are you getting? So I have here a list. I have here some notes that I'm gonna read to you. So I'll give you some of the effects that I really liked. So there's a first one called the bed, which is essentially a spectator selects a card. Afterwards, they place it back in the deck. You take out 4 cards, you show it to them, you ask them to not save their card is there. And then as you progress through, the card that you place in their hand, which was not their card, transforms into their card. And then all the other 3 cards that they saw were just in different cards have transformed into the mates of their card. That's one of the tricks that I really liked. And then there's another one called bar bet. It's just a simple move where you place a card down. You then ask someone to name a card, what card they think you placed there. You then take the card, place it on the table, and you slide it towards them, and it's exactly the same card. Another one, this is probably one of my top 3 effects on the entire platform. It's called pin prediction. You shuffle a deck, a spectator shuffles a deck. You each put a card under a glass or under a card box, and both those cards will match. Great, great effect. This is probably my second favorite trick on the entire platform. It's not even a trick, it's more of a move. It's called the HC flip. It's essentially a way to force a card onto someone. Absolutely great move. I love this move. Absolutely love it. It's great. It's absolutely great. Then you're gonna get a trick that is a fully fledged, and I mean you could do this trick as like a fully fledged 10-minute routine almost. It's stopwatch is a routine inspired by Ollie Mealing. So that's another one you're gonna get. It's a fantastic effect. Then you also have another effect called quick prediction that I really like. It does require a bit of moves, but we're gonna get into that a bit later. But essentially, you ask someone to choose a card, you then divine what the card is, and you say the only way you could have known what the card is if you actually knew beforehand. You show a card with a different back from your back pocket, and it's their card. I love that one. Then there's another effect that I really like, which is called Impossible Sandwich, which by the name is a sandwich trick. And then probably my favorite effect on the platform is called Colossal Killed. So that's essentially an effect where someone names, you tell them a story, and through that story, they're going to come up with one single card. And you tell them, as the climax, as the ending, you tell them, that day when that certain thing happened to me, something happened. You're going to shape the story however you want, but Christian basically says, he patted his back, and in the back pocket was one card, and it was the card they named. So essentially, any card they name at the end of that effect will be inside of your pocket. That's probably my favorite effect of the entire Magic Monthly. But that's not all you get. So these are just my favorites. But you also get card at any number routines, you get TNRs, you get certain mentalism applications for certain effects, you get mind reading tricks with cards, you get some oil and waters in there. You have essentially anything related to card magic you will find in this subscription. So these are just some summaries of the effects. Now I also want to talk about the setup of the effects, because not all of the effects will be you learn them and then you can just pull out a deck at a moment's notice and do the effect. Some of these effects require crimps. Some of the effects require, a gimmick card. Some of these effects require stacks. Some of these require memorized stacks. Some of this require a bit of preparation beforehand. So not all of the effects are things that you're going to learn and then put a deck in your pocket and do every single trick from Magic Monthly to someone on the fly. Okay, so some of these effects require preparation, they require rehearsal, they require a stack. So keep that in mind. So not everything will be self-working, ready to go. So this leads me into the difficulty. What is the difficulty of Magic Monthly? In my opinion, it would be intermediate to advanced. I don't think that if you're a super beginner, you're gonna be able to do everything here. If you wanna push yourself, if you wanna actually push yourself forward, then you could subscribe to this, see how good these tricks are, and then, be motivated to push yourself forward. But I think this is more catered towards intermediate to advanced card magicians, because there's moves in here. There's not just double lifts. You have here packet switches that you have to do under, misdirection. You have to play with misdirection in certain effects. You have to do, there's certain effects with the DPS. These are not all easy self-working tricks. You're gonna have to practice them. You're gonna have to rehearse them. You're not just gonna watch the video and then a minute later be able to do it as perfectly as Christian does it himself. This will require work. There's not a membership that gives everything to you for free and you're able to go perform everything. You have to put in a bit of work in order to perform everything here. If you want to learn everything to its maximum potential, you will have to put in the work and learn it, okay? So you will have to dedicate time to certain effects in order to learn them and perform them well. So that's regarding difficulty. Now let's move into where do you perform this? So where do you perform these effects? Are these stage effects? Are these parlor effects? These are close-up, casual, table hopping, street magic kind of effects. So you won't be necessarily able to do these on stage or on parlor, except if you have, the required room and materials for you to excel there. But these essentially casual routines. Even Christian performs them in bars and restaurant, in his kitchen, around the house. He's at a moment, he's outside with Ollie Mealing performing casually outside. I believe it's in a park or something. They're performing there. So these are casual performances, casual tricks, not performances, casual tricks that you're going to be able to do table hopping at certain venues. Nothing stage-wise or necessarily parlor-wise if you don't have the means for that. This is focused on the more casualness of performance style. So, someone asks you, hey, can you show me a trick? You take out your deck and you're going to perform something for them. So that's relatively where you're going to perform this. So I won't talk about, is this practical, because these are all card tricks, but I can hint at practicality because of what I said earlier. Whereas not everything is going to be a shuffle deck going in. Some of them will need you to put a crimp. As I mentioned, some of them will require you to have a given card with you. Some of them will have you to need a stacked deck or a memorized stack. Not everything is going to be good to go directly. So you're going to have to take that in mind, that some of the effects do require a setup. So that's pretty much all I have to encapsulate. I could talk a lot more about this, but I don't want to, keep talking so that everyone gets bored and leaves. But I think I gave you guys enough information about Magic Monthly. But before I quit, I want to do, as always, positives and negatives. So what are the positives for this? So the positives are that you're getting fully fledged tricks. You're getting full performances and a full tutorial that's really well shot. You're getting card effects that are not just throwaway effects. These are actual good effects that could be sold on the market for the same price that you pay per month on your subscription. The site is easy to navigate. It's easy to use. It's easy to maneuver. It's easy to watch the videos, easy to sign up, easy to cancel. Fifth positive is Christian Grace is a really nice guy. He's going to answer your questions. You're not going to be left in limbo here. Okay? You're not going to be left in limbo. And the sixth positive, this is going to be my last positive, is that these are working effects. These are effects that you're going to be able to learn with some time and perform miracles with. These are extremely good effects, especially for spectators. You can see the reactions the people have when he performs these. These are phenomenal. These are great methods with great effects. Now, what are the negatives of Magic Monthly? There's essentially two negatives for me that I could think of. And I want to be transparent with this. Two negatives. The first negative is that if you're a beginner, this is not necessarily fully suited for you. Christian Grace does go over every move and every effect, but not in super detail. So let's say you've never practiced any card magic or much card magic and you get here. You will get Christian Grace explaining to you quickly the double lift, but he's just going to go quickly. He's not going to do a masterclass on the double lift. So if you're a beginner, I don't think this is necessarily the program for you. And even if you're an intermediate card guy, some of the effects you will have to put in a bit of work. So this is also a positive, that you're going to have to work for. But the main negative is that if you're a beginner, I don't think this is the necessary first step for you to go into this program, because it's going to be a bit challenging for you at the start. And the second negative is that there's a lot of effects that will require preparation. So not everything, you're not going to learn, 10 effects that you're going to be able to do with a shuffled borrowed deck. So a lot of these will require preparation beforehand, will require a small setup, will require you to do, certain things or bring certain things with you in order to perform them. So that's another negative. You're not necessarily going to get walk around material that you're going to do, with a shuffled deck. So if you wanted to, build a set around this, you're not necessarily going to be able to build like a 1-hour set because you'd need multiple decks to set up. Also, that's not a negative if you want to perform one-off effects. But if you're at a gig or something and you're going table to table and you'd be like, I want to perform this effect at every single table, not every single effect will let you do that with one deck. So just keep that in mind. So that's pretty much all I have to say about Magic Monthly. I think I've given you guys great information about it. I've given you guys an overview of everything in the subscription, tricks that I liked, tricks that, I mentioned to you that I didn't note down, but that I watched and I enjoyed, how everything works, the difficulty, the performance, level required to do them, what you get, what you don't get. You also get bonuses, everything. I think I've covered pretty much everything. You also get additional discounts for Christian Grace products or his friends' products certain months. So that's also a bonus. But overall, as a closing thought, I cannot give this a numerical value because as a package, these are so many different tricks that do so many different things. I would have to give every single effect and every single month a grade and then divide all those grades by all the tricks in order to get a mean. And that is really hard to do because I feel that's super subjective. But I will give you guys my closing thoughts on this. Is this a good subscription service? I would say yes. I would say it is worth the money. I would say even if it goes up a bit at 12, 13 pounds at the end of February, and you see this video after that, I still think it's worth it. I think you're getting, essentially, you're paying for one trick and you're getting one free every single month. I think that's the way to look at it, because you'll essentially, the money you're paying is the same money you would pay for a download anyway, and that's per month. So if you buy a download per month anyway, you're getting essentially one free here. Fully worth it. Some really great effects. As you saw, there's at least 5 effects that I'm gonna do, that I'm gonna perform when I go walk around and when I'm gonna have a casual deck or someone asks me to perform a trick or two. Some of these effects that I got from Magic Monthly are effects that I'm gonna work with. They're effects that I think are great. The methods, everything is great. I would highly recommend anyone that's intermediate or above or passionate about card magic to get into this subscription, learn the effects, perform them. You won't be disappointed. You'll have a great, great time. It's a great subscription service. And yeah, that's all I have to say about Magic Monthly by Christian Grace. I hope everyone that's stuck around up until now, leaves a comment, subscribes, likes, tells me, what do you think about subscription services? Do you like subscription service magics? I know that Craig Petty's coming out with his. I know there's Illusionist. I know there's Steve Faulkner that has it. I know Magic Orthodoxy has a subscription service for his reviews. What do you think about subscription services? Do you like subscription services? Do you like joining all these different subscription services? Do you join one per month? Do you never join? What are your opinion on them? Tell me what you think. So I'd love to hear, I love to talk to everyone. In my comments, I answer every single one of you. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see everyone in some of my next reviews. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming in the future. I'm going to do my best to get everything out for you, even with my busy schedule. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate everyone, and bye-bye. See you next time.